Yo, what's up, guys? Today we're going to be breaking down UFC 323, and this card is pretty stacked. We have two title fights. The main event being Merab Dvalishvili defending his bantamweight belt against Petr Yan, and our co-main being Alexandre Pantoja putting his flyweight title on the line against Joshua Van. And this card has a bunch of exciting competitive matchups all the way through, so let's get into it. And for the first fight of the night, we have Myron Santos versus Muhammad Naimov. Santos is on a 5-fight win streak. He's coming off an impressive performance against Sadiq Youssef and a crazy knockout over Khan Offley. And Naimov is coming. He's 4-1 in his last 5. He's on a 2-fight win streak against both decisions over Bogdan Grad and Khan Offley. They're both skilled fighters, but I just think Santos is going to be the more active and sharper guy over the 3 rounds. And I think he's going to throw more volume. He works at a better pace, and I think he's just going to be one step ahead in the striking exchanges. And I think Naimov is going to try to mix in some grappling to slow the fight down. But I think Santos has a takedown defense to stop most of these attempts. And even if Naimov does get him down, I don't see him being able to hold Santos down for long. And on the feet, Santos is just the cleanest striker. He's going to stay busier, and I think he's just going to win the rounds. And over a 3 round fight, I think his uh, striking volume is just going to add up, and I'm going to take Santos to win this fight. And I think decision is the most likely outcome. And next up, we have a fight between Mansur Abdul Malik and Chorkali. And Chorkali is he's 2 wins in his last 5 fights. He's coming off back-to-back losses. He got submitted in like the first 2 minutes against Tresean Gore, and then he got knocked out in the 3rd round, I think it was, against Shar Magomedov. And this guy's just not UFC level. He has some submission skills, I guess you could say, with 5 submission wins, but his grappling is usually not a threat at all. And the only thing about him is just he's lengthy and it can be awkward to fight, I guess, but he's not skilled. And we have Mansur Abdul Malik, he has 4 wins in his last 5, and his most recent fight is a draw, but it was overturned a draw. I forget what happened in that fight, but other than that, he has 4 knockout wins in a row, and I think he's gonna get another round 1 knockout here over Trocoli, and I don't think this fight's gonna be that close. Like the second Mansur Abdul Malik pressures Trocoli and starts throwing, I think Trocoli is just gonna fold and he's just gonna wilt against the cage and just let Abdul Malik just throw whatever he wants, and the ref's gonna he's gonna have to stop the fight. So give me Mansur Abdul Malik in this one quite easily. Give me him by round 1 knockout or just inside distance is most likely, I think. And next up, we have a fight between Ibo Aslan and Baranowski. And Ibo Aslan, he's coming off back-to-back losses, and I was interested in this guy when he first got in the UFC. He got a round 3 knockout over Turkalj, and then a round 1 knockout over Sequeira, which that win has not aged good at all. And then he had an entertaining fight with Ion Cutelaba, and then got subbed like the second the fight hit the mat. And then his most recent performance, Billy Alakana, it was really like a staring contest, and he lost that by decision. That was a bad performance. Nothing really happened in the fight at all. But this guy, he is heavy-handed. He has 14 wins, all by knockout. 2 out of his 3 losses come by submission, and he has not been performing the best in his last couple fights. And on the other hand, we have Baranowski, who is 6-0, 4 knockouts and 2 submissions. This guy has Polish power. This guy hits hard. He's coming off a round 1 knockout, 20 seconds into his Dana White Contender Series fight. And I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, he was like a really big underdog in that fight, going against like a top Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu prospect or something. I might be wrong, but I'll put it up on the screen. But he got a quick knockout. It's just one shot, put him to sleep. So I think Ivo Baranowski, I think he's going to win this fight. I think he's going to be able to stand with Ibo, and if if it's not going good, I think he can resort to the grappling and get Ivo down, and maybe even look for submission. But this might be a close fight, but I do think Ivo Baranowski is going to be able to get the finish over Ivo Aslan, whether that's ground and pound, submission, or just a knockout or something. But give me Ivo Baranowski in this fight. And next up, we have a fight between Edson Barboza and Jalen Turner. And this one's going to be really low confidence. Edson Barboza obviously getting up there in age at 39. He's coming off back-to-back losses to Drakkar Klose and Leron Murphy. And he's just slowing down, obviously getting up there in age. He's a great striker, but I think just age is catching up to him. And on the other hand, we have Jalen Turner. He's much younger, 9 years younger than Edson Barboza. He has a height advantage. He has a reach advantage. It's just this guy's mentality. Like, he's 1-5 and 1-4 in his last 5. He's coming off a round 1 submission loss to Bahamondes. Round 2 knockout loss over Moicano, where he could have won that fight, but he tried to get a walk-off knockout instead of landing ground and pound. And he got a vicious win over King Green, where the ref should have stopped that way earlier. And then a split decision loss to Dan Hooker and Matus Gamrot. But he retired after that Bahamondes fight, and that fight was earlier this year, and he's coming back already. It's just this guy's mentality, or if he has to come adversity in the cage, he's not going to. He's going to wilt, I think. But I do think he's a better fighter and is going to be able to strike with Edson. And Jalen Turner actually does have quite a bit of submission wins in the UFC. So if he has to grapple, I guess he could. But it's just this guy's mentality I'm relying on. But I do think he should be able to win this fight. He is a better fighter, I think. It's just if he's mentally tough enough. But give me Jalen Turner in this fight. And I do think he could be live for a finish over Adrian Barboza. So give me Jalen Turner in this matchup. And next up, we have a fight between Marvin Vettori and Bruno Ferreira. And this one is a little tricky. Marvin Vettori is tough. Like, that guy takes a beating like every time he fights. Like, but his head is just made out of like concrete. Like, he's not gonna get finished. And Bruno Ferreira is a finisher. He's 4-1 his last 5, coming off back-to-back submission wins. The most recent one against McVeigh in the first round, and before that was against Armin Petrosyan in the second round. And he was submitted by Abu Smagomedov. And then before that, he had back-to-back first-round knockouts against Dustin Stolfus and what's his name? Phil Hawes. And Vettori is 1-4 in his last 5. All decision losses to Allen, Dolidze, Cannonier, and Whitaker. And he has a win over Dolidze in his last 5. This one's tricky because if Bruno gasses out after the first, Vittori's going to be in his face for around 2 and 3. But I am going to go take the chance on Ferreira here. I'm expecting he's going to have 3-round cardio if he doesn't go ballistic in the first round. But I think he's going to be okay. He's going to put the pressure on him in the first round for sure, and I think he's going to win the second round, and I think he might lose the third. But I think maybe if stoppage he'll get in the first round over Vettori, but I think that's unlikely. So give me Bruno Ferreira here, and give me it either by like knockout or a 29-28 decision. But this one could be interesting if Bruno gasses out. But overall, give me Bruno Ferreira by decision or knockout. And next up, this is actually a great fight between Nazim Sadikov and Fares Ziam. And I'm on the side of Sadikov here. This guy is tough. He fights through adversity. We've seen him in bad spots like the Nicholas Mota fight. He almost got knocked out. In the McKinney fight, McKinney had his back early on. But this guy fights through. He's tough. He's durable. and you know what you're gonna get with him. This guy is violent. This guy's a violent striker, violent ground and pound. He has not lost a fight since his MMA pro debut, and he's on 11-fight win streak. Unless you're including the draw against Borshev, but he has not lost since like 2018. And this guy's a great striker. I do think he has an underrated ground game too. He has a submission win in the UFC over Terrence McKinney. And if we go to Freziam, this guy, he's on a roll right now. He's win streak here. He's on a 5-fight win streak over Mike Davis. That's a good win. But I just think Nazim is just going to be pressuring him the whole fight, getting in his face. If Sadikov wants to get the takedowns, he's going to. And we've seen Freziam in very bad spots on the ground. Like Mike Davis had him in like what was it, like a knee bar. He had mounts over him. He had the body triangle. Matt Frivola had mount on him too, and Claudio had mount on him too. Like these guys that Ziam is fighting, they clearly all are getting dominant positions on the ground. And I think if Sadikov gets in that spot, if he wants to grapple, I think his ground and pounds are going to be damaging on Freziam. And I think Sadikov is just going to be pushing the pace and just getting in Ziam's face. Ziam is a good striker. He has good knees, good elbows. But I think Sadikov is just going to be too much. So give me Sadikov in this fight. And I think he is going to I think he's live to get a finish over Ziam. So give me Nazim Sadikov in this matchup. And next up, we're going to the women's MMA between Macy Barber and Karine Silva. And I'm going to be honest, I have not done much research on this fight, honestly. Kind of forgot about it, I'm not going to lie. But I am going to be on the side of Macy Barber. I think she does have decent grappling. I know Karine Silva does have really good jiu-jitsu, but I think Macy Barber is going to be defensively sound if the fight goes to the ground because she does have grappling herself. And I think she is going to be the better striker. And Karine Silva, she's 4-1 in her last 5. I think I remember that Barbosa fight being quite close, honestly, and I didn't really like the way she looked in the Vivian Araujo fight. I think she's winning at the start and she started to slow down, which is not the best sign. Macy Barber's on a 5-fight win streak. She had a nice TKO win over Amanda Ribas, but she also missed weight her last fight. So, but maybe something happened in the training camp or something. But I'm gonna be on the side of Macy Barber here. I think just the momentum's better, but I'll take her by decision, but low confident. And next up, we have a fight between Terrence McKinney and Chris Duncan. And you do not want to miss this fight. I think this fight's gonna be quick. Someone's gonna get finished for sure. And Terrence McKinney, he's 4-1 in his last 5, and in his past 5 fights, the longest fight that lasted was 2 minutes and 1 second. He's coming off a 55-second submission win over Slaviklaus Borshev, and before that, a round 1 knockout against Hadzovic. And before that, he got head kicked to another dimension by Ribovics. And then a 20-second knockout over Marat. And before that, a round 1 knockout over Breeden. And Terrence McKinney in the first round is like the most dangerous fighter ever. Like he has solid grappling too. Like he has high level BJJ in wrestling. Like he's gonna go for this submission right away. And is striking lightning fast, and he hits with power. Like in that first round, he's coming to finish you. And then on the other hand, Chris Duncan, who's also 4-1 his last 5, coming off a 3-fight win streak over unanimous decision win over Rebecki, a submission win over Jordan Vuchenchik. I don't really know how to pronounce the name, and then a round 1 submission win over Balaji Oki. He has a good guillotine, which is shown in his last 2 submission wins, both by guillotine. But I think Terrence is going to crack him early. Chris Duncan, he does have some wrestling. He is a good striker, and he's going to be there. He has 3-round cardio. But I just think McKinney's speed is going to give Duncan a real problem. So I think Terrence McKinney's going to get him early, clip him, maybe like a club and sub. But I'm gonna take the risk here and go for Terrence McKinney by knockout or submission. But if McKinney does not get him out in the first round, Duncan is live to finish Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney has never been out of the second round. All his fights have gone inside the distance. So, but I'm excited for this matchup. It's gonna be good. So give me Terrence McKinney by submission or knockout. And next up, we have a fight between Grant Dawson and Manuel Torres. Grant Dawson 1-4 in his last 5. 3-fight win streak against a decision over Diego Ferreira, a ground and pound win over Rafa Garcia, and then another decision win over Joe Selecki. And then he got knocked out in the first 33 seconds against King Green. And you know exactly what you're going to get with this guy. He's going to go for the takedowns all night. He's going to control you. He doesn't really have much threat on the ground. He has submission wins, but you don't really see him really go for them in the UFC, and as of lately, not as much at all. He has 3-round cardio. He's there. He's going to be pushing the pace all night. And on the other side, Manuel Torres. He is also 1-4 in his last 5, coming off a round 1 knockout over Drew Dober. And before that, he was knocked out in the first round by Bahamondes. And this guy's a finishing machine. He has not made it out of the first round in the UFC. This guy's dangerous early on. He has a great 1-2 down the middle. And he does have some submission offense, like against Chris Duncan, he submitted him. But we just haven't seen this guy get out of the first round. Yes, there's a chance that Grant Dawson gets clipped in the first couple minutes and Torres puts him away. But I think Grant's going to play smart. He's going to go for the takedowns right away. He's not going to take a chance on the feet. And he's just going to wear out Torres because Torres, we don't know how his cardio is. Can he go longer than 5 minutes? We don't know. So, yeah, I think Grant Dawson's grappling is going to win him this fight. And maybe a possible late finish, maybe like end the second or third round if Torres does get gassed out and and Dawson is still pushing the pace. But there's a risk Torres in the first 2 minutes, but I'm still gonna go with Dawson here. So give me Dawson by decision, but won't be surprised if there's a late finish. And next up, we have a fight between Blachowicz and Guskov. And Blachowicz has 1 win in his last 5 fights with the draw in the title fight against Ankalaev. But this guy's been versing the best of the best, like Glover Teixeira, Rakic. Rakic has not been the best lately, but other like Ankalaev, Pereira, Olberg, this guy's fought them all. But he is 42 years old. This guy's a great striker. He does have a little bit of grappling too, and he has power in his hands and really nice calf kicks. But I think the age is the major factor here. 42 years old, light heavyweight. I think he's gonna be slowing down. He's been finished 4 times, 2 by knockout, 2 by submission, and I just think there's gonna be a speed advantage on the side of Guskov and a power advantage too. Guskov, great striker, and he has shown a little bit of grappling in his last fight. Submission win over Billy Alakena, and he's 4-1 in his last 5. All finishes. Knocked out Span and starched Nikita Krylov. And this guy's power. He has good counters, heavy-handed, and I think he is gonna have the speed advantage. I think he is gonna be able to catch Yan with a couple nice shots. I don't know if he's gonna be able to put him away. Maybe he could catch Yan with something and knock him out. But I am leaning Guskov in this fight just because of momentum. 4-fight win streak. His first loss was in his UFC debut against Volkan Ozdemir. Like, that's a tough fight for your first fight in the UFC. And Guskov, Blachowicz, whatever, hasn't won in 2022. And last one is against Rakic, which he's a fraud. We can see in his last fights. So I'm going to lean Guskov here, and I'm going to say knockout or decision, but I don't know. I might feel a knockout he might get here. But give me Bogdan Guskov in this matchup. And next up, we have a fight between Henry Cejudo and Payne Talbot. And I do think a lot of the people are going to be on the side of Cejudo in this matchup because of the wrestling and Payne Talbot's loss over Barcelos. But I'm gonna pick Talbot here. Cejudo, great wrestler, two division champ UFC in the UFC and Olympic gold medalist. And this guy's fought the best of the best. Song Yadong, Merab, Sterling, Dominic Cruz, TJ Dillashaw. Like the list goes on. But he's on a three fight losing streak. And I don't think he's that good anymore. He's obviously on the downfall of his career. He's 38 at bantamweight, and I don't think he's gonna be able to get the takedowns. He's not gonna be as explosive, and I think if he does get Talbot down, I think Talbot's gonna be able to get up fine, and I don't think Cejudo is gonna like get a decision win just by controlling Talbot. I just don't see that. Peyton Talbot, great striker, good kicks, good 1-2 down the middle, and he's like a sniper on the feet. This guy's sharp, and yes, he had that loss over Barcelos at UFC 311, where he was a massive, massive favorite and just got taken down a bunch. But Barcelos is on a roll right now. I think he's on like a 4-fight win streak. And I think Barcelos is more of a threat on the ground than Cejudo. And if we look at Talbot's last fight against Felipe Lima, when that fight got booked, people were talking about how Felipe Lima, it's not going to be a close fight. He's going to get him down. He's going to submit him. And Payne Talbot was the one defending the takedowns. He was getting on to mount on Felipe Lima. He was the one winning those grappling exchanges. I think we're just going to see major improvements in Talbot. And I think he's going to be the one to retire Cejudo, maybe even a knockout win. But I think this is just a good win for Payne Talbot. This is just going to make him more of a star in the UFC. But I do think a lot of people are going to take the side of Cejudo, but I am going to pick Payne Talbot to win this fight either by a knockout or like a 30-27, maybe a 29-28, but give me Payne Talbot here. And next up, we have a fight between Brandon Moreno and Tetsuro Taira. And this is actually a really great matchup. I'm excited for this one. Brandon Moreno, 3-2 in his last 5, on a 2-fight win streak over Amir Abalzi, where he beat the brakes off him, and then a dominant win over Steve Erceg too. And then before that, 2 split decision losses to Royval and Pantoja. And this guy has fought the best of the best, like Davison Figueiredo, Royval, Kakar France, Steve Erceg, Amir, like Pantoja. Like this guy's fighting top of the food chain guys. Really great boxer. I do think he has 11 submission wins. He's good on the ground. He has good scrambles. He's not easy like to hold down, and he has 5-round cardio. Well, this is a 3-round fight, so he's gonna have the cardio for this fight. And then on the other side we have Taira, and this guy, 17-1, just had his first loss against Brandon Royval by split decision. This guy is a great grappler. I think his boxing and his stand-up is getting a lot better. I think he just came off one of his best performances against Young Sung Park, where he knocked him down and then was able to submit him. And I do think he learned a lot from that Royval fight. Like that was easily the toughest fight, stylistically too. But I do think he learned a lot from that fight, and he's going to come back a lot better. And this guy, he has great jujitsu. Like his back takes, his body triangle is like he can hold on to that like all day, and he has really nice arm bars and rear naked chokes. And this guy's tough. He has the cardio. This is gonna be a close fight. I do favor Taira. I just think I think he just learned so much from that Royval fight, and he's gonna look so much better and more improved against someone like Moreno. And I don't know. I think he's gonna get the back of Moreno. I'm gonna guess. I just don't know if he's gonna be able to submit him, but I think he's gonna get the control time, be in dominant positions on the ground. So I am going to take Taira in this fight by either submission or decision. But this is going to be one of his toughest fights against Moreno. But I do think he's going to get the win here. So give me Taira by submission or decision. And with the first title fight of the night, we have Pantoja versus Joshua Van. And I'm excited for this matchup. This is This is gonna be a great fight, no matter who wins. With Joshua Van, this guy's slick combinations. Boxing is so clean, so fast, so smooth. He's on a 5-fight win streak, I think. Um, yeah, 5-fight win streak. His first loss to the UFC came to Charles Johnson by knockout. But this guy is active. He's fighting a lot, and he's beating these guys. He had an amazing fight with Royval, dropping him in like the last 10 seconds or something. And then he had a fight with Bruno Silva before that where he beat beat him like bro, just beat him but bad. And then against Ray Saruria, where the Ray Saruria guy was not able to get the takedowns. Joshua Van was stuffing them. And Cody Durden, he was laying combinations on Cody Durden. I don't know how he survived that. And he had a war with Edgar Chirez. Like that was a back and forth fight. Like Joshua Van's always this guy when he has a fight on, like you can't miss it. Like these are all so entertaining. And I'm this is tough. I am Joshua Van. I think he's gonna have some takedown defense here, but a guy with experience like Pantoja, who is this guy beat? Kai Car-France, Kai Asakura, Steve Ursek, Royval, Moreno, Perez, Royval again, Manel Cop. Like he's versing the best of the best. 8-fight win streak, amazing jujitsu, and he's always in your face pressuring. Like he may look tired on the screen, but like when you're watching the TV, but this guy does not get tired. He keeps coming forward and he's forcing his takedowns. He's so good at taking your back and just fighting that rear naked choke. And I just think the experience is going to play the role here. I think Joshua Van is definitely going to have his moments with his combinations, but I am going to have to lean Pantoja here. I'm going to say just a submission win. I think his grappling is too good. I just don't think Van's going to have the experience, but this is going to be a great fight no matter what. Um, so give me Pantoja in this fight by submission, but this is going to be a great fight, so don't miss it. And with the main event for UFC 323, it is Merab Dvalishvili versus Petr Yan. And this is a rematch where in the last fight, Merab just dominated Petr Yan. Like, I think he attempted like 49 takedowns. And I think it was just like a 50-45, just purely one-sided fight for Merab. And Merab, this guy has not looked back since, like, what is it, 14-fight win streak I think he's on? Beating Corey Sandhagen, Sean O'Malley, Umar, Sean O'Malley again, Henry Cejudo, Petr Yan, Jose Aldo. Like this guy's beating like everyone there is to be, and I don't think he's stopping anytime soon. Like this guy's looking unbeatable. Like his cardio, I think this guy could fight a 15-round fight if he wanted to. 34 years in age, I don't think that's gonna be a problem. It's just we know what he's gonna do in this fight. He's gonna go for the takedowns. He's gonna be landing some. His stand-ups aren't that bad either. He almost finished Corey Sandhagen in the second round in his fight. But and this guy's so active too. Like 4 title defense this year for a new record. I think he's gonna get it done. Maybe like maybe Petr Yan will make it a little bit of a close fight. Petr Yan 3-fight win streak, 3-2 in his last 5. Beating Marcus McGee, that's an okay one, I guess. Marcus McGee's pretty good, but he's not on the level like anyone like Merab at all. Figgy, that was a good performance by him there. And Song Yudong, that was good too there. So a couple good wins. But before that, lost to Merab, obviously. Split decision to O'Malley and Aljamain Sterling. And had a close fight with Corey Sandhagen, but he won that by decision too. But I just don't think Petr Yan just made the changes necessary to beat a guy like Merab. And Petr Yan, obviously one of the highest IQ fighters. Who know he's gonna come in with a game plan. I just think Merab's just. I just don't think anyone's gonna beat him anytime soon. I do think Yan's gonna make this closer of a fight than before. Maybe land some more combinations or maybe stuff a few more takedowns. But overall, just give me Merab in this fight. Either by like maybe like 49-46. I don't think it'd be a 48-47. And maybe like a Merab late TKO maybe if we see something. But I mean, just give me Merab in this fight for his 4th title defense of this year. I think that's a new record too.
But I mean, I'm really excited for this fight to see how it plays out, how much different or how similar it is to the first fight. But this is gonna be a great fight. So yeah, give me Rob in this one. Maybe I think by decision, but maybe I'm not gonna rule out a late TKO, honestly. So yeah, Merab.
And that is my full card breakdown and predictions for UFC 323. Make sure you guys like and subscribe and make sure to check out some of my other videos too. And I post these breakdown and predictions for every single UFC event. So stay tuned for those upcoming events.